Welcome back to Matt Labber's best place for small business owners or new business owners. And speaking of new business owners, I'm sure for those of you guys who are watching, who are thinking of starting something, you may have a lot of questions in your mind. So one of the big questions that a lot of people have in mind is that, am I making the right decision by starting this business? That's a very good question that I know a lot of people would probably be thinking about, because before we all start a business, we probably have a lot of brand new exciting ideas. And for those who have even started a business, you may be tempted with other exciting ideas that you want to try out as well. But it's always hard to make a decision to jump into it because we probably have a lot of things that we haven't considered about. So then the question is that, am I making the right decision by starting the business that you're probably interested in? What do you think, Ma'am J?
I think this is from this guy called Naval, and my response is his response. If you have to ask the question, the answer is no.
What?
Yeah. If you have to ask, is this the right business? The answer is no.
You're talking about confidence.
Is this the right girl I want to marry? No. It's, I want to marry the girl. Or, yes, I'm going to start the business.
But there are also a phase in a lot of people, before they want to jump into something, they probably want to consider about a lot of things. So are you suggesting that perhaps that, you have to follow those advice, like just do it, don't think so much about it, If you want to do something, just go for it, think lesser of it.
So if you adjust the question like that, then it's not so much a question of objective. The person who is in that mindset is concerned about the how a lot, which is, in our previous videos, we talk about perfectionists. So to those people, I would say, just put something out, right? Whereas your earlier question was more to do with, is this business the right business to do? Is this business the right business to jump in? Not so much, how do I make the business work?
Right.
Yeah, so if your question is, if your question is, I'm not sure whether this is the right way to go about, then I would say, okay, just think of something and then just launch it. Just
create a minimum viable product.
Because that's a secondary question, right? Which is that this is the business you want to be in already, right? Like, I know I want to sell chicken rice, and then you're like, should I put the soya sauce in the rice, or should I separate it with the chicken? So then to those people, I would say just make the chicken rice. Just make one time with sauce, one time with no sauce. Go and test, do your A/B testing. Go ask people, things like that.
Right.
Whereas if you are thinking, should I start a chicken rice shop? No, that's what I would say.
I see. That's a pretty interesting thing.
Now, guys, before we move on, just to let you know, we have a mentorship program where you can apply to and work with us so that we can guide you how to build a business on social media. If that's something for you, go ahead and apply. Links are in the description and the comments.
Okay, so let's go with another one, right? For those who want to start a business, they may have this thing in mind where, being your own boss, it means you get to control your time. You probably have more freedom.
Yeah.
So how much actually does one's personal life is sacrificed when starting a business?
The important thing to realize in a capitalist world that we are in a relatively free market, there are, a free economy. And Malaysia is a pretty free economy, as it is with places in the US, Singapore and all that. The thing to understand is that to be your own boss is kind of like the wrong mindset. Because that's an internal, and I would say that's a selfish mindset. Like, I'm starting so that I can be my own boss. The thing to realize is that there is no bossless endeavor. There's no business or thing that you do where you do not have a boss. So if you're an employee, then it's very clear who the boss is, right? Your higher ups, whatever. But when you start your own business and quote unquote be your own boss, you haven't really removed the boss element outside of yourself. What you've done is you've gone from your higher ups as your boss to now your customers being your boss,
Yep.
right? And in many ways, the customers are probably much harsher than your boss because,
They're paying you.
they're paying you, right? Some of these bosses that you work under in the corporate world, they are not paying you. They are also getting paid.
Correct.
So there's no bossless endeavor. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I mean, like, coming from my own personal experience, whenever you want to start a new business, you basically have no personal life. Like, in the initial stage where you have to make things work, you have to do a lot of preparation. And sometimes you have to also do things for free so that you can get to the next stage. And
Yes.
there's also
To
this...
create a portfolio usually.
Correct, to create a portfolio. And it doesn't mean that just because you spend a lot of time creating this portfolio that it's going to work.
Yeah.
So then you have to find yourself thinking of new ideas to create brand new portfolios that are untested and hoping that it will work. So most of the time, you will find yourself like working more than usual.
Yeah. So I mean, when you're an employee, you expect a salary to come in every month at a specific date,
Yeah.
right? Seldom you get it, I mean, and if the boss tries to play games with you and say, oh, I'm not going to pay your salary or all that, you can just go to labor court and sue them and you're most likely going to win. Fun fact is that Malaysian labor courts are very, very friendly to laborers.
Yeah,
Very friendly. So,
but what happens after that is that if you do happen to bring them to labor court, the next time you apply for a job, you have to check the box that says, have you ever brought your company, your previous company?
true.
Yeah, that's the part that's going to be tricky. But you were saying,
so hopefully you win a lot of money when you, when you sue your boss or ex-boss. Where was I? So
personal life.
there are things that act as that make it a guarantee for your income. But when you're a business owner, it is not guaranteed. If the customer just say, I don't want to buy, means I don't want to buy. And if they don't want to buy, means you don't get revenue. If there's no revenue, you cannot get paid. It's as simple as that. So because it's like that, you cannot be thinking, okay, I'm going to put in the work from 9 to 5. Right? Because presumably when you start a business, you want to have the income potential is infinity,
Yes.
broadly speaking.
Correct.
And the reason you want to go away from employment is maybe because the income is limited, maybe.
Yep.
But you see, with limited income comes limited time spent. With infinite income comes infinite time required.
Oh boy.
Right?
Absolutely.
Especially, but you see, that's the thing. If you're talented, if you're smart enough, and of course, if you put in the work, then you will know what moves to make to be able to generate the revenue and maybe in due time reduce the work.
So if you're thinking of having 1,000 subscribers for your business, then download our free guidebook. Link is down in the description below. There you go.
So there's that chance. But for most, entrepreneurs or small business owners, they just continue to work infinitely.
Yeah, even for those who are successful as well, Even for
Oh,
those, even for those who have already found a working model, they will be working even much more harder. I think like what you said, in the capitalistic world, money is never enough, and because we are trained to always be working towards something, you wouldn't really settle down yourself and say that okay, this is enough. Because it's very hard to be enough, especially when you're starting out. You may find the things that is working for your business to be generating some income, but you will always constantly be looking for more. And here's one thing I think a lot of people may not know, new business owners may not know. The money that you have earned from your business is not your money. Because if you have earned a good chunk of money in the beginning, you're going to be thinking about expansion. So you're going to want to put that money to hire people, maybe shift to a brand new studio, which means now you have a higher overhead.
Yeah.
So you're back to zero in a even much more riskier predicament than
more
before.
at stake. But of course, you have to do your assessment, right? Like when you invest in this, is it going to bring in more money, right? You're able to create more videos, better videos, or let's say in our kind of business, or if it's a restaurant, whether more people come and eat when you open up a new store, things like that.
Yeah, so it's always a good thing to wonder whether if such life or such path is cut out for you. But of course, if you have decided to run your business, of course, there's going to be risk and there's going to be the reward. And most of the time, the reward you'll be thinking about, if you work hard towards it, you will eventually reach out for it. So this is it for this video. If you want to learn more about how to start new businesses, do let us know down in the comment. Let us know what you want to know next. And that's it. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.